Well, hey guys, hope everybody's doing well. This is going to be a little different outing for me now. It's a little bit after 7 o'clock, it's about 7:15 p.m. and I'm going to go do some catfishing. Now, I've done a lot of catfishing, but I've never really tried to film it before because of the difficulty of dealing with the darkness. The lighting is going to be rough. I'm going to try to use, I've got a little kerosene lantern. I've got my Ozark Trail work light as well as a headlamp and some flashlights. And so I hope I can create enough light from those sources to make this video worthwhile. We're going to find out. But my plan is to go catfish for, I don't know, the next 2 or 3 hours and see what I can catch. If I can catch a decent sized catfish, then I'm gonna keep it and I'll fillet it, and then maybe even tomorrow or the next couple of days I'll have a good catfish sandwich for lunch or something like that. So it's pretty cold outside. It's about 36 degrees Fahrenheit right now, and over the next 2 hours or so it's supposed to drop down pretty close to freezing point. So I'm layered up, and I'm also bringing my solo stove that I can make a small twig fire just to warm my hands up. I brought some stuff to make some hot chocolate if I really got cold and needed it. So I'm going to finish packing up all my stuff into just this simple, cheap Eastpak book bag. I don't have a lot of stuff. And I'm going to hop in the car, and then I'll catch up with everybody when I'm out at the lake. So wish me luck. There we go. Not too shabby. Okay, so I'm fishing with some night crawlers tonight, but I also brought some chicken livers. I can fish with these as well, but what I'm gonna do to start with, just to get the catfish smelling the bait and maybe kind of swarming around, just to kind of call to them, they use their sense of smell, is I'm gonna take some of these chicken livers and I'm just gonna toss them out there. You know, free food, free bait. Not all of them, but I'm gonna just toss some of these guys right on out there and see if I can get them to start swarming around. I'll do a couple more. Not too particular about how I bait these guys. I'm just stringing them on. I'm sure there's some avid fishermen out there that would be hollering about my baiting technique, but it's catfish. It can be kind of messy, it can be kind of sloppy. I do like hooking more worm on there than I would normally fish for a smaller fish. And I'm just gonna let that sit out in the bottom. All right, first cast. Let's get it out there. So I know there's not much that you guys can see. It's just black out in front of me here on the screen, but there's some activity. There's been a couple of jumps in the water. To be honest, I'm not real sure what type of fish that is. I don't think catfish usually jump out of the water, but something's hopping out there. And man, you know, it's cool out, but it's a really nice night. There's a little steam coming off of the water. Stars are out. And while I'm filming, I've got my work light on, but when I'm not, I've got that off and I'm just here by the light of the lantern. And honestly, man, it's really nice. This little lantern light is really comforting. Well, it felt like I had a little something. A little hit. There goes another one of those jumps. With my setup, there's my lantern, the rod, sitting on a bucket. And I don't know if you can see, there's the steam rolling off of the water. Definitely had a bite, had a pull. I don't think I got it set though. No. Let's give it a check though. See if it took our bait. That's the worst, not knowing if you have bait on the end. Because you know there's no point in leaving it out there if there's no bait. And there is some bait, but it's been ripped up pretty good. So we'll stick some more on there. A little tug out there. Gonna be patient this time. Yeah, something's tapping at it. Just refusing to commit. Come on. Well, I've been fishing for about an hour now. Some taps and things, some tugs, a lot of fish taking my bait, but nothing to show for it yet. But I'm still gonna be out here a while, and it's cool, but I've layered up, so I'm not cold, but I'm starting to get chilled the more I sit. So brought my little solo stove, and I'm just gonna start. Whoop, hold on. I just saw my line twitch. Ooh, hey now. Come on. That was a pretty big tug right there. Well, I was gonna say that I was just gonna start a little fire in my stove, and I still will. And then I've got my pole right here, and I can see the line in the reflection of all the light. So even though I wasn't holding it, I could see it twitch. There it goes again. All right, so I'm gonna just start a little fire, just something, you know, I can keep my hands warm. And in a little while, I may heat up some, I brought some hot chocolate. I may heat up some water and make a little hot chocolate too. There we go. Just to show my fisherman friends that I can do it, I baited the hook a little better here, threaded the hook and ran the worm all along the interior kind of the worm around the hook, and then made sure to just barely push the prong out. So for those of you who were screaming probably earlier about my baiting technique, there's to show you that I can do it. Time to make a little hot chocolate. I keep my hot chocolate in one of these little containers. Of course, it's got like a pop lid on it, but I'm just gonna unscrew it. I've got everything pre-filled, and then just, you know, it's guesswork. But I don't know anybody that ever complained about hot chocolate that's too chocolatey. So you'd rather probably err on the side of chocolatey. I did forget my spoon, But I did bring my small fillet knife, so that'll just have to do. Well, I checked my bait and it was gone. So whatever had pulled on it good just a little bit ago, took it all, but I rebaited. I think I've learned my lesson with these guys out here. I'm gonna wait just about until something pulls the rod halfway into the lake before I try to mess around with it. It's almost 10 o'clock. Just made a little hot chocolate. Cheers. Oh, that's good. There's been some activity out here tonight. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but the owls are now starting to, there they go. The owls are now starting to hoot. I've heard some ducks. It seems a little unusual for nighttime, and it's not like they're going crazy, but just an occasional quack, quack, quack. Almost like they're laughing at me from across the other side of the lake. Hey, and I caught that on video. I'm certain that you had to have heard that. And these fish, I don't know what they are. Maybe one of you guys are smarter than me, better fishermen than me, more in the know can tell me, but there are fish out here at night. I mean, it's pitch black out here, and they are jumping clean out of the water, almost like they're top feeding. I'd be curious to know if any of you guys know what kind of fish is jumping out of the water like that here this late at night. Still a really nice night. But as I was saying, it's actually not as quiet as I would have expected. Gotta say though, this cheapo lantern from Walmart, $7 from Walmart. I think it's a Weatherite lantern. $7. I lit that thing when I first got here at like 7:45, and it's right at 10 o'clock now. And she's been rolling ever since, just like that. It's been nice to have just that little bit of light. It's getting late, but I want to stay out a little longer, but I tell you, I think this hook is a little big. I mean, normally this would be fine for what I would use for catfishing, but I think whatever's still in my bait is smaller than this. I want to try to catch it even if it's small, so I'm gonna find something a little smaller, a hook smaller than this. The next size for me is one of these guys. I'm gonna put that big hook back. I'm gonna put this little hook on, put another night crawler on, and toss it out and see what happens. All right, I think I've got something on the line. Here we go, friends. It's about that time to reel in a fish. It's almost 11 o'clock. Lots of nibbles, lots of teasing, and here we go. It's gonna be the smallest little fish ever. But that is okay. That is all right. Well, there you have it. A catfish, oh, about 3/4 of a size of my boot. I don't know if this is the little fish that's been giving me the runaround or not, but it is certainly nice to finally catch one. Yep, there he is. Oh yeah, and he's gonna talk about it some. There we go. All right. Well, I'm gonna send him off back to the lake. There we go, little dude. See you later. Well, friends, I think that's gonna be it. It's 11 o'clock on the dot. I've been fishing for a little over 3 hours, and it's cool. I don't think it dropped down quite as cold as they thought it would by this point. I think it's still in the mid-30s, maybe 34 or something like that, but I think I've had enough. I'm gonna be straight. I know I only caught one fish, but this has probably been my most fun, to me, the most fun fishing experience I think I've had. I like being out here at this time of night. Even though it's cool, I like layering up and being out in it with the lantern and kind of the ambiance of just having that out. It's just been real nice. So anyway, I hope it's been enjoyable for you to watch. And you know, stick around. I'll do some more of this because I know I've really liked it, and I'm not worried about repeating videos, you know, that I've done before. I've got to get out there and catch some bigger catfish for you. So anyway, this has been a fun video to make. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. Subscribe for more content, and as always, we'll see you next time.